You might well think, well, I've already spent $1,000 on my phone. I should probably get AirPods Pro. And if I get an iPad,
I've never heard anyone be damn. I spent so much money on my phone.
I might as well just
get AirPods too.
do that too.
That's nobody. Damn, I already can't eat. Might as well not be able to wash my ass too. Like, nigga, what logic is he using, bro? He said, damn, I already spent $50,000.
Just get everything. Might as well here.
Like he said that shit like he just like.
How much Apple? How much the company?
How much is it? 1K? I got that shit right here.
You said the phone's 1,000? Oh, an extra 500 for AirPods? Well, might as well do that too.
Well, I can actually feel the relief from the fact that when I now go places, I can just take one power brick, one cable, and that will charge my MacBook.
I was thinking that too. Like, nigga, fucking you charging with that shit?
Talking about one power brick and plus some shit that powered my whole house.
You
out of here.
The brick bigger than the damn phone, bro. What are you talking about? God damn.
All I have to do is pull out a backpack. One power brick.
That's a real ass brick, man.
That's kind of crazy how they're changing to USB-C as a crazy new thing, despite them being the absolute last company to do so.
That is also.
I wasn't praising them for changing. I'm like, it's about fucking time.
Yeah, right.
They made a lot of unnecessary money off of being the only ones that have their own.
That's what we saying. It's about damn time they done that shit.
No, I can just take one power brick.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Dizzy. You already know what we doing. Again, thank y'all so much for the love and support that y'all been giving us. We got 4K, and I'm saying it again each video because y'all really giving us the hope that we can really do this shit, and we're gonna keep doing this shit until we can stop doing this shit. It's gonna be never. In this video, we're reacting to the new iPhone 15. We got some shit to say about this, so go ahead and watch the video and enjoy. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Dizzy out. Deuces.
I strongly prefer just proper, vibrant, confident colors as opposed to all this washed out off-white hoopla. I remember seeing some rumors that there was going to be like a hot pink and a bubblegum blue, and honestly, that would have been awesome. But what I am really glad about is the softer edges and the matte frosted finish on the back. It may not be as cool as the very literal edginess on the last year's iPhones, but I would take comfort any day. You pick these phones up and instantly you notice this is like 200% more comfortable than the last phones. And then the other minor, but still very definitive improvement is Dynamic Island. Last year we got it on the Pro iPhones, now we've got it on every iPhone. And it doesn't fundamentally change the way you use your phone, but I would say it's a combination of both a nicer aesthetic than the notch. It just feels how when you order an Uber, it'll tell you how many minutes till that Uber arrives. Funnily enough, on my flight on the way here, it was telling me the whole journey how much longer I had left till landing time, which is actually really convenient. And the other perk of it is that it persists even when you move to other apps. And so even though this Dynamic Island, it isn't physically creating any new screen space, it's the way that Apple has made the software around it that almost makes it behave like a secondary sub-display within your main display that lets you do two things at once. Also, the display itself is even brighter at up to 1600 nits or 2000 nits if you're in direct sunlight. If you haven't already used a 2000 nit display, it's pretty staggering. It will not just be readable in broad daylight, but actually bright. There's a new ultra-wideband chip, wideband being one of the ways that your iPhone further away, and 15s are also getting a lot of the big camera upgrades of last year's top-end phones. This is the first big change. You know how Apple's used a 12 megapixel resolution main sensor for almost a decade now? Well, it's gone in place of a bigger 48 megapixel sensor. And thank goodness for that. Because yeah, I mean, Apple did squeeze quite a lot out of the 12 megapixel sensor they had, but there's only so far you can go. And so with each of the last few generations, we've really felt the Pro iPhone stepping up, and then the regular iPhones scraping together some very minor software improvements, but clearly restrained by the limits of this weaker hardware.
I mean, obviously,
they wanted you to pay for those. And also, this 48 megapixel sensor is still on the 12 megapixel sensor. And it means in a lot of ways,
absolutely nothing. Okay.
Mainstream.
I love that we got racks here to just like
progress. And it does make this definitely feel like a bigger jump than what we saw last year between the 30.
So same shit. That guy followed repeat, he pretty much
ultra information automatically, which means you don't need to sit there and think, what mode should I be in right now? You just take the shot, which means you can take the shot quicker, and every single shot has the perk that afterwards you can go through and make it a portrait, and even switch between the different focal points within that shot. Now, I would guess that the reason they've not done this sooner is that to do this, your phone's got to capture a lot more information when it takes that photo. And so it should take the phone longer, and that would introduce some potential shutter lag and therefore blur in your shot. This is going to need more testing on my end to see if Apple's managed to do it with no extra delay, but that is what they're claiming. But now it's time we talk about the elephant in the room. The thing thing
Oh,
that
that's what
the
the
entire
fuck?
industry has been talking about for the
No,
last
the
6 months.
USB-C.
Apple has shifted from a Lightning connector to a USB-C. Or in other words, they've shifted from a custom Apple-made connector to the industry standard. Now, it's not a secret that a big part of this is just Apple trying to get
Yeah,
it.
I mean-
it's like more universally available. I don't have
Yeah.
to like buy extra shit.
Oh, no,
Like,
That's
I
why
mean-
it's better because you can just go to any store now buy
Okay,
stuff.
that's good. Because that's
I
what
mean,
Apple,
'cause
they
with-
made a lot of money off of that.
They have
bullshit.
their own personal
Nah,
chargers.
I'm actually happy because
Cropping
USB-C,
pictures.
like the
Yes.
that
yes,
our
yes,
memory thing
yes.
USB-C. My phone USB-C
Yeah.
since like
everything
Galaxy S5.
USB-C.
Yeah, so like,
Even the
Head of
PlayStation
new
controllers.
so basically they just said, all right, let's stop trying to be too different.
Right.
And
No.
By
Yeah.
2024, all new smartphones need to be USB-C
Next
to
year,
cut
yeah,
down
yeah.
on the unnecessary duplication of accessories. And it might even be annoying in the short term. If you have a bunch of accessories that are designed to work around Lightning, then they might well not work anymore.
Pretty much.
But in the long term,
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty clear win on 4 fronts. A, it's better for the environment. Because from now on, any smartphone accessory only needs to be made once and not in 2 separate versions. It's a better customer experience because now you can get away with buying and carrying fewer cables, as well as using whatever charger you want. Like,
Crazy how they're spinning changing to USB-C as a crazy new thing, despite them being the absolute last company to do so.
that is
And that's,
also
I wasn't praising them for changing. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's about fucking time.
Yeah, right.
Because
Yeah.
they made a lot of unnecessary money off of being the only
Random-
ones that
only,
have their
yeah.
own
That's what we're
food.
saying. It's about damn
different.
time they done that
Right.
shit. No,
it's- I can just take one power brick.
I'm still laughing at this nigga's power
That's a
brick.
crazy
bro.
power.
Power brick opens up his backpack and pulls it out, bro. Get the hell out of here.
That will
God
charge my
damn.
MacBook, my iPhone,
That- I
my
mean, that's got
Nintendo,
light- that's like
Android,
light
whatever I'm
speed
carrying
fast.
at the time.
That
Even
shit,
if
give it an extra 10. That shit, overachiever charge.
use an
That's the
iPhone,
thing.
you know, like,
Regulations
you have to
do so
ditch
as well.
every
They're
single
dragging
accessory that
tickets
you
screening
bought
at that
if you
point.
fancy
Yeah.
trying an
You already
Android.
know this,
And
so.
then the final thing is that this is not just any USB-C port. At least on the Pro iPhones, this is a USB 3 port, which is not by any means unusual in the industry, but it does mean that the transfer speeds are up to 10 gigabits per second, which is a lot better. It's like 20 times faster than Lightning was. What's not clear is if you're going to be able to get that
But like, will it degrade the power of
You're an
battery over time? Like,
upgrade
will the phone's
charged by
battery?
your phone with the
I mean, I guess with my phone it doesn't, because I'm pretty sure I'm using the same USB-C as theirs.
Well, basically,
But I
if you're
guess-
using a phone outside of Apple, your tech will not degrade over time, usually, for the
That
most
is-
part.
Yeah, you're right.
same cable that charges your phone.
I would
See,
assume.
and this is
just like-
both one of the biggest draws and one of the biggest drawbacks. See, every year up until 2022, when Apple's launched a set of phones, all those phones were released with the same chip, with potential slight modifications. The A14 Bionic, the A15 Bionic, etc. But last year, they started to separate. The Pros got the very latest A16, while the normal phones stuck with the same chip as the year before, the
I didn't know
A15.
that.
And so, while it is great that the base iPhones this year are getting an upgrade, the normal 15s will now get the same A16 that the Pros got last year, and that it is, let's be very clear, a super fast chip that will not cause any performance problems. What we're not getting is the very latest A17 that the 15 Pros have, which basically means, yeah, this is a trend that we can just expect to see going forward. That the
Oh,
Pro
but they have a stronger chip, but they won't put it.
They
into
won't put
the-
it in the
in the other
the
batteries.
lesser
We
phone.
were just talking about them. He wants you to spend more money. Obviously, you're not gonna.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
nah,
it's
nah.
blatant at this point. Rack said Apple slows down older phones in a faster time frame. You could possibly get battery damage from USB-C.
He said
Classic
classic.
Apple elitism. Yes.
Right?
That's how
Bro.
we're, again, it's so blatant. They're not hiding it. They don't have to hide it. They know.
amount of
Yeah, we're
customers,
greedy as fuck.
which
You're gonna
I'm
buy
sure
our shit
Apple
anyways,
is
right?
doing, but it's a difficult
That's
market to be
that.
doing that in.
Yeah.
Or
That's Apple.
you can increase
That's
the average
Apple.
revenue.
That's Apple.
And I think this is what's happening with the
Because
iPhone
at
right
that point, they competition is really, you feel me? It's
Yeah.
Like, they got the
Competition is kind
consumer.
of really scarce.
now.
Yeah.
I'm
Kinda
about
like-
to show you
kinda
this
like
in full
Twitch.
force, but the
Yep, that's all.
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
there's
Yeah.
never been a
Same
bigger
shit.
gap between Pro and non-Pro as you're going to stay a Pro user. You're going to keep buying the $1,000 plus phones every time you upgrade, and you're probably going to feel more bought into the ecosystem as a result. You might well think, well, I've already spent $1,000 on my phone. I should probably get AirPods Pro. And if I get an iPad,
No.
I should
I've
probably
never
get the
heard
iPad
anyone be damn. I
Pro.
spent so
And,
much money on my phone.
I might as well
get
just
AirPods
Might as
too.
well-
do that
I'm
too.
already
That's
broke.
nobody. Damn, I already can't eat. Might as well not be able to wash my ass too. Like, nigga, what logic is he using, bro? He said,
Like,
damn, I already
who's-
spent
that's right.
50,000.
Just get everything. Might as well here.
Like he said that shit like he just like.
How much
whipped out
Apple?
1,000
How much
right
the
there.
company?
How much is it? 1K? I got that shit right
He
here.
said,
I'll
it
take
is.
you
that.
said the phone's 1,000? Oh, an extra 500 for AirPods? Well, might as well do that
Might as
too.
well.
You know,
Here you go.
good.
That's
Nah.
Apple. You said 1.2 bill? Yeah, let me just
Right,
get that
I'll
too.
get that too.
Go ahead, let me get Apple.
Y'all take
Like,
cash?
what type of
Bill in the back pocket had that.
It's
He
your
got
girl's
GTA
getting the
money.
pro version. You already know, Rax. You already know.
Pretty badass. And for these, there are 6 major things that we need to talk about.
Okay.
The screen is using a brand new bit of tech that's allowed Apple to shrink the bezels to basically record-breaking levels. To be clear, some other phones do have slimmer side bezels, but from everything I've seen, I don't think there's a phone that's achieved bezels like this while also having symmetry on all 4 sides.
What is a bezel?
I don't know why I expect.
I think it's the border outside the phone.
The borders?
And
Yeah.
it's
I don't know why I expected
because
to see,
anytime
like,
you manage to
porn up
shrink
on
the
his
borders
browser
around your
when he was
That's your browser,
screen,
bro.
which is exactly
Like,
what Apple's done.
I've been looking at
Kinda
this like, bro, what the
taking
hell is he
last year's
playing?
iPhone
Everybody else
14
would be,
Pro
bro.
and trimmed
You
off
that's
to the
that's
layer
the
around the
cleanest
outside.
shit I've
The
ever
phone
seen.
is
Like,
thicker than last generation though, presumably to
Really?
accommodate a bigger battery. And so in a way, it's actually really important
Bigger
that Apple's
battery.
managed to do that trimming. So
Yeah.
that
I'm too fucking
and then
good.
you've got
You
a
know
bunch
what I
of
mean?
which
Yeah.
I
you
peep
decide
game.
what it does,
Thank you,
which is
Rex.
something it seems like Apple tested last year with the more niche Watch Ultra before now rolling it out to the mainstream with the iPhone. And my hot take is that I like it, but I don't love it. Because
That reminds me
on
of
one
that-
hand,
of
for
the-
me,
New flash?
I never
Yeah,
really
yeah, I
use
remember
ring
that on the
silence switch,
iPhone.
'cause when I don't want to be
No,
disturbed by notifications,
iPod.
I'd rather just go anything. I never really use the
Damn, you got crumbs in that bitch already.
He said he never used it,
ring
nigga.
silent switch because when I don't
Like,
want to
shouldn't it be at least be dusty,
That's
not
the old phone,
crummy?
not the new phone.
Oh,
be disturbed by
That's his
notifications,
phone.
I'd rather
about
just go
to say.
all the way into do not disturb. And you can still
Wait,
use this
what?
action button to silence your phone,
What
but
was
it's just
the point? Hang on.
I never really love it. Because, I mean, on one hand, for me, it's not taking away anything. I never really use the ring silent switch, because when I don't want to be disturbed by notifications, I'd rather just go all the way into do not disturb.
I mean, I guess, yeah. That's just so your fucking ringer doesn't fucking.
yeah, you're not disturbed. It's like
That's
taking
if
off
you
from all
literally don't want
notifications,
any.
like, yeah.
I
So
can
that's the
understand that,
difference.
but it's like
I don't know. Now that's a difference.
it is a difference. You said like it's a. I don't
Like
know.
when I used to use, I definitely turn to like use my silencer all the time.
My phone is always on silence,
Yeah,
like, but
it's
I
always
want
on
to know
silent.
that there's notifications. I just don't want to fucking bring.
Right, you know.
So what they saying they put it together in one now?
Well, no, because
So
do
you
not
can see
disturb.
that-
We already have do not
Yeah.
disturb.
Yeah.
He's just saying that like he never used silence.
He don't use
puts
silence.
on do not disturb.
So for him,
always,
I
but
guess the silencer did a change, and for
it
him
didn't-
was
I
like
guess.
he don't
I mean,
use
do
it.
not disturb is literally
You can
like you don't
still
get,
use this
you get
action
shit, but you
button
just
to
don't know you
silence
get
your
shit.
phone, but it's just that as well as that, you can now also use it to open the camera, to start a voice recording, or what's really appealing to the hardcore Android customization freak inside of me is that you can also use it to trigger any of your Siri shortcuts, which basically means any function of your phone. So you could use it to open up Spotify, you could use it to
Oh, so you can
activate
get the
power
map the
saving
button
mode,
to-
which I could actually
So
see
you can
myself
map
doing
the button
quite
and
a
do
lot.
it whatever
You
you
can
want
even use
now.
it to
pretty
vibrate
cool.
your
I know,
speakers at a
right? That's
specific
Apple.
frequency
That's
to
Apple,
clear
right?
out any water that's got into them. My version of a good time.
Do
But
it
it's
once
just
for
there
5
was
plus
also
years. They
something
can't use
nice
their
about a
side
slider
button to
that you could see
exit
what
any
state
app
it was
they
in at a
want.
glance, and that you can never accidentally trigger like you can with a button. Plus, the key perk of an action button in my mind is that it is a faster, more convenient way to trigger a command that you regularly use. But when I'm holding my phone, and I imagine when you're holding your phone, my fingers are never all the way up here to be able to do that comfortably.
Right.
At that point, it might actually be easier to just program multiple taps of your power button to execute that same command. That is how I set up my iPhone 14. Triple tap on the power button
You already
turns
know,
the screen
Rex. You already
grayscale.
know.
But I do want to live with the action button first before I give any conclusive thoughts on it. Apple has swapped materials on the Pros from stainless steel to a titanium alloy. Now, this is not the whole phone.
Hey, I
There's still
fuck
the
with that,
ceramic
though.
shield on the front and frosted glass on the
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, Rex.
Only
It's one
60
thing to be talking
Get
about,
up
but
and
now
then,
you
like,
just sound like a broke
No
nigga.
way.
I'm not gonna lie.
There isn't a single permanent mark
You just
on
know
the
you
body.
can't afford
so
that.
having something that's even stronger than that.
It's one thing
is
to
obviously a
hate,
nice
but
peace
you
of
just
mind.
hate it too much.
But I think
When
the
you
thing
hate
that
too
people
much, it
will
stops looking
largely
good.
notice and appreciate more than that is the fact that
This man
titanium
is
is
saying
also
nothing
lighter.
but
The Pro
Apple
iPhones
sucks,
for a while
Apple
now
sucks,
have all
Apple
been on the
sucks. I get
slightly
that.
too weighty for their size side. So the reduced density that these bad boys have takes them to that really nice sweet spot where they still feel substantial, like any Pro phone should, but without going so far that it's heavy. It also means better thermal conduction
better
out of the
instead
phone,
of a
and
silent or
we got
do
these
not
curved
disturb.
edges again. Ever since
to
the
be
day that Apple
customized.
announced they were switching rounded
Yeah, are
sides for
you
sharp,
able to
flat
type
sides on their
this in?
phones, I've been counting down the days till they go back to having
After
curves.
this,
I mean, it
I'm gonna see.
Oh.
just makes sense. We
do
got
expect
here, having
a long
some
way
sharpness
back
to the
claims.
design.
You just
It's a
watching
bit of a
Call of
shame that
Duty.
they didn't finish this all off with some more exciting, unusual colors. I mean,
Okay.
a deep red
So
wouldn't
that's good.
hurt anyone. But to be fair, the silver this time is
So the
clean.
silver,
Oh yeah,
yellow,
there's a
and
camera
pink?
upgrade. Obviously, there's a
Those are
camera
two
upgrade.
colors?
Smartphones in 2023. So there's a slightly improved ultra-wide camera and a bigger sensor for the main camera,
No,
which
it's not that
they're
you
saying is
can't
going to
have
make up
this
to a
gummy shit,
2
it's just
times
like-
difference to low light shots. So we will definitely test
I
that
mean,
theory.
it's
And
not
also,
that,
subtle
it's
little
just- you
thing.
say,
They
like,
only
the
spent
same
like
thing
3
over and over
seconds in the
again,
event
like,
talking
alright,
about
well,
it,
get the
but
message.
they've also introduced a new coating to the camera, which apparently reduces the amount of lens flares. This is a
Not
top
everyone
requested
has
feature.
small
Loads
hands.
of people
Oh,
have
yeah,
asked for
for
this,
the,
but equally, I don't think it
the
has
button.
completely eliminated it based on my
He
very
said
quick testing.
my hands
24
are
megapixels is now the
everything goes
default
with the button.
resolution resolution output for the main camera, which I know sounds a little underwhelming given that it is a 48 megapixel sensor, but what's happened so far, and what tends to happen with most companies who use high resolution cameras, is that they take the shot at full resolution and then they downscale that resolution to have a cleaner but lower resolution output. Whereas this kind of makes it seem like Apple is now confident enough in the image cleanliness already that they're no longer feeling like they need to reduce that resolution so much. Obviously, Apple's example shots are very curated, but they are showing levels of detail that the iPhone 14 in auto mode just could not do. And then probably
You know, used to trick me when I used to buy phones, bro. Before like I actually like realized like before, right when they show the pictures like this, I'd be like, oh, all I gotta do is turn on my camera and I'm gonna get a picture like that. Then like honestly, I started realizing like nigga, they got $1,000 lights behind and you feel me? Then they whipped out the phone after putting all the compositions.
You realize
That's a whole studio.
Right, they got a whole studio with a phone.
When you realize like how much false advertising goes into so many things.
Yeah, you be like,
damn.
The biggest one is food. The biggest one to me still to this day is food.
Y'all
When
saw
I
CGI, like how they use CGI for food and how they put like motor oil on like the pancakes.
Yeah, I actually
They
want to
put
watch
stuff in between the pancakes to make them look
Yeah, I seen that for a burger. But like,
for
burgers
burgers too,
too.
yeah.
have y'all seen how they do the steam? So like,
Like
it'd be like so it'd be a coffee, right?
Behind it.
No. So they'll actually put cotton balls, and heat up the cotton balls because the steam lasts so long, and they like tape it behind the cup or something.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, I guess inside the cup if ain't nothing in it.
Yeah, nothing in
Yeah.
it.
So I was just like, nigga, y'all some cheap
Maybe.
ass. I'm here looking at fucking cold ass pancakes motor oil, so some that shit good. Not knowing that shit.
That shit not edible.
Right.
They got hella motor oil on them hoes. And they
Fucking-
got cotton balls taped between it.
You feel me? I don't know what cereal. Like the milk is not really milk. It's like glue or some shit. I don't know. I heard something like that. I'm here like, ooh, that milk was good. Nigga, of course it ain't gonna look like that when you pull your because it ain't milk.
showing levels of detail that the iPhone 14 in auto mode just could not. And then probably the biggest camera change is on the iPhone 14 Pro Max only. It's a new telephoto lens. It started off as a 2x, it then became a 3x, and now it is a 5x zoom camera. 5 is a lot of zoom. And so I imagine the reason that we're not seeing this on the normal size Pro is space limitations. And then they're pairing this new lens with better stabilization, which is actually really important for higher magnifications because those lenses are much more prone to handshaking. Cool as it is,
What up, name is Center?
I do have some
But
doubts.
can it handle
Like how
games?
there are
They
other phones
show
with
one
10
game.
times optical zoom cameras, which this probably won't outdo. Plus, a big part of what makes Apple's
wait, was
10
that-
times optical zoom cameras, which this probably won't. Some doubts.
Oh,
like how
I thought
there
that
are
was
other phones with 10
Why did it look so square?
times optical zoom cameras,
That's
which
one
this
thing.
probably won't outdo. Plus, a big part of what makes Apple's portrait mode so great is that it uses the 3x zoom lens, so you can sit further away from your subject and you get less distortion on their face. But then, if your only zoom camera is a 5x zoom camera, probably too much magnification. You'll most likely have to leave the room you're standing in to still fit them in the shot. And so it seems like what they're going to do instead is to use the main 1x camera and to crop into that, which kills the quality a little bit. The only way you fix this problem is by having 2 zoom cameras. You have one high magnification zoom for when you want to properly get into something, and then one much lower magnification one for the portraits. Last little camera tidbit is that the iPhone 15 Pros are going to be able to take spatial video. Basically, 3D immersive video that you'll be able to properly watch and experience on an Apple Vision Pro headset.
Fuck about on Apple.
They really made They really did a feature for you to buy that other shit. That's not even
How
out yet.
much was that headset again? It was a
Nigga,
lot.
that was what?
Wasn't that like rent and then some?
Yeah, it's like 2K.
It was like I thought it was more. Was it 2K?
I thought it was
You want me
2K.
to pay
They said it's how much?
3D immersive
The
video
fuck?
that you'll be able to properly watch and experience on an Apple Vision Pro headset.
Real quick.
I
I'm
remember
telling
when
you,
we
let's
looked
have
it up.
like
It's
2K.
basically like the VR set that you have to plug into a wall. It's attached to the headset. You got to plug it into somewhere else. Which I think the VR works like that too.
You think they just this had a price up here?
But it's just like pre-order at least. Like you can Google pre-order price.
I would say you could probably
Oh, yeah,
Google the
it's fine,
price, but they ain't gonna have it on the website. It's like going to a Gucci store and expecting a price tag on the sweater.
I mean, I don't go to Gucci's. I would have definitely expected
I
that.
say,
I didn't know. Don't expect the
Yeah,
price
this is
tag
what
on
I
the
like more like.
Oh, 'cause it's like-
it was like
I saw
rent
it
times
somewhere
2.
else.
That's all like nah. I think it was more.
When
more
I was
than
watching
rent.
the meme, it was not that high, bro. I'm
much?
telling you, it was like
God.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's way
stop.
more than they were saying at
What were they
first.
advertising this to?
Even look, Apple Vision worth 3,500.
They better not be advertising this to the average American,
3,500,
bro. I swear.
3,500, bro. This shit is rent times 2. Oh, broski!
Thank you,
Oh,
nigga.
that was
It's
the
'cause we're
best
like-
one,
we're-
bro.
We're seeing like
That was the best 35 fucking $100.
We're seeing
bro.
companies like
God damn.
terrible practices and like what they're selling to the
I see
consumers
this
and
shit,
whatnot. Bro,
What does Apple Vision let you do?
Just
Nigga,
watch
you look
shit
at
on
videos.
screen.
Oh, it makes
It's
your
basically
phone
VR.
VR. It makes your phone VR, right? Okay.
Nigga,
Nigga, $3,500 for that?
bro, hold on. How much is a regular VR? You can watch videos on VR. You can do that.
Yeah, but you can't
I
use
can
your
play games
phone
in
as
VR. I can
Well,
play
yeah,
games
but
in
like,
VR.
It is a little different.
okay, so like, I'm just saying VR, you can watch videos.
People are
play
buying
games.
their names.
I thought it'd be the same shit you doing. What, you gonna text on VR?
Yeah,
Like,
probably. I look, you know how we be talking about the whole editing and all that?
okay, if you could do that,
I feel like-
now if you could, okay, if they say you could connect this to like, let's just say a computer.
No, that's, yeah. But I'm saying like,
Yeah.
like if you like, say you, no one probably does anymore, but say you edit your music on GarageBand. If you do that shit on VR, you might be able to Tony Stark it. That's all I'm saying. Type shit.
GarageBand.
No,
I get
do.
you saying.
But you feel
I
like,
get you
like
right.
maybe for
But
like
here's the
editing
thing.
photos, that shit might go hard through Photoshop. Cause I know a lot of people Photoshop off their phone.
That's true.
So if you Photoshop all your Instagram
But-
posts and shit,
Nigga,
Mama.
that might make it easier VR
I
stuff.
still
what
don't
I'm
think
seeing,
that's
right?
like
See what I'm saying?
Oh, nigga, definitely not.
Make
Definitely
it
not.
loud.
I'm just letting you know,
fire.
buying a VR headset is not gonna be the same as having an
To watch
Apple Pro
videos.
because you can't use your phone. You can't do
Yeah.
everything your phone can do.
What can your phone do
Good
that you don't
question.
want to do on VR?
So it's like Photoshop. You feel me? I mean, if you could do everything on your
Nicholas.
phone just in VR mode, then you could do everything you could do on your phone in VR mode.
I would just-
But
I
that's
wouldn't
what
see
I'm
the
saying. I feel like it's a
point
lot
of
of
it.
shit that you don't even want to do in VR. That's on your phone.
PR.
Me
porn?
personally,
Nigga, that's VR too.
that's also VR. You can do that already. Yeah.
I mean, you can, but it's not. I'm saying like if it's on your phone, it'd be different, no?
I don't think so.
It'll be like, because when you do porn VR, it's kind of like you watching a video, but it's still through VR. In my opinion, if you on your phone VR, it's like you in that bitch.
That's how VR is.
I feel like
Trust me, it is.
When
I've seen videos.
I actually have too. That's what I'm saying. It's not like I don't know. When I see the videos of porn VR, it's like POV VR.
Mm.
I'm thinking when you do like iPhone VR, you might be able to be like clap cheek, look over, see like something that's in the room. Or I don't know.
That's
like,
how regular VR is. Yeah.
I don't know. Not for when I watch it. It's just
Yeah,
like
it might be
POV VR,
It
and
might
it's
be
like
that
just whatever
specific.
they record in the video,
Yeah.
just VR style.
Isn't that the same? That's the same thing.
But
though.
what I'm thinking is like,
you can search up VR YouTube and see the difference. Okay, so I googled.
Oh, we could.
okay, I definitely feel like there's gonna be a huge difference.
It does.
It's almost on some like
Should be
it's almost on some like
No,
Star
literally.
Wars and Marvel tech is what
Like
I'm
a
picturing. Yeah, like a hologram. That's what I'm picturing.
And fucking better if it's
That's what I'm saying.
fucking dollars. This is Apple. I don't expect them to make it worth that much money.
That's what they were
I'm
showing us in the preview right there. It was like a hologram.
Shit, I don't.
But that is
believe it.
also
if
yeah.
if the product isn't out yet, and that's what they're saying it does. No, I
I
don't.
don't
believe
got no
it.
searches
Well,
on
the
that.
Me
Apple
personally.
Pro's not out yet.
No, I thought it's still like you still
Oh,
have to
still pre-order.
right?
Okay, I don't know.
Because if it's already out, I mean, I don't know. I want to see what it's able to do. I don't want them to tell me, oh, it could do this. No, I
Right.
want to see it.
I want.
I don't trust y'all enough for that.
I wouldn't get it no matter even I had the money to get
VR
it.
and AR, you're right.
I wouldn't even get a VR just because I think VR is stupid in my opinion. I wouldn't get a
Mm-hmm.
VR. It's fun for like a one-time thing, but I can't picture myself doing all-day VR gaming or like even
Yeah,
at like
I
an
mean,
hour
you're
or
not even-
2-hour VR.
You're not even supposed to. Again, it's really unhealthy.
Oh, is it?
If you even like, I play Blade and Sorcery on Cody's thing. It's a lot of fun, but like, if you do it for like a long time, like me doing it for like maybe the 40 minutes that I played it for, and taking it off, like, my whole equilibrium was just weird. Because like,
It was
I was
off.
moving my hands, but I didn't even feel like I was moving my actual hands. It was just weird.
Oh, interesting.
But it's
like,
also because I'm not used to it though.
oh, true.
So like, if you get used to it, respectfully, it's different. But like,
If you use it respectfully.
I mean, the VR games are nice because I've seen some like actual Spider-Man gameplay in VR where like a dude's like twirling and then I gotta look that shit. Like it looks so good because he's fighting people. But like, it depends. It depends on like your equilibrium, how accustomed you get to it, and all this sorts. So like I know from experience when you're VR in
Cool integration.
you can
It's
change
just
your perspective.
not a
So,
cheap
like,
combo.
speaking of
Just before we get to
game VR.
pricing, we've got to talk about
Oh,
one thing
yeah,
that I
that's good.
am really
I
excited
play
for,
Blades
and that
versus
is this
Blades.
A17
Yeah, you gotta get
Pro
used- I just gotta get used to it.
because this is the
Tolerance.
first
Yeah, you
chip
gotta
in the
build
world
tolerance,
to be
yeah.
based
Like,
on
you
a
guys know,
3
you guys know,
nanometer
you guys know.
process. Why is this a big deal?
Let's go,
Well,
Joey!
every other top-end chip in the world is based
Yay!
on a 4 nanometer process. And
Got
basically, the
those
smaller
tweaks.
that number,
What
the
up,
smaller the
Chewy?
transistors that make up the chip. If the transistors are smaller, then they consume less power, and you can have more of them. And the cool thing about this is that, proportionally speaking, the jump between the 4 nanometer process and the 3 nanometer process is actually even bigger than the last major jump, which was between 5 nanometer and 4 nanometer. So basically, you can expect a 3 nanometer chip to either run a lot faster if they use the extra space to cram in more
Okay, what can I do
transistors,
with it?
or so they're really
So I got
pushing
all
for the
space, but
power
what can you
efficiency
do
angle,
with
which, based on the iPhone 14s, is the exact Apple stat.
10% faster.
Okay,
So they're really
okay.
pushing for the power. Recent jump to the graphics power with support for ray tracing, and they did show some cool examples of console games that are making the jump to iPhone because of it, which I'm all about. But then beyond the examples that they showed,
Would y'all play a console game on the phone?
these guys.
No.
I couldn't do that.
Nigga, I couldn't play a
I
game
couldn't
on a
do that.
phone in
Literally
general.
Cannot. Like,
I hate phone games so much.
I know the mobile games, like you can, but it's gonna be downgraded to like such a staggering point that it's not.
So
Gonna
what
be
they, I guess, what iPhone trying to make is that they so strong now that
They're making the
they're
jump
not.
to
I
iPhone
don't,
because
bro,
that
no,
they're making
they are
that
not.
console
with support for ray
games.
tracing.
I gotta see
and
it.
they did show some cool
I gotta-
stuff.
Even
No
if you
way.
do, like, how much you try to film that small ass screen, you trying to play.
Not just
Like-
that, but like for the resolution to be that good.
But the
That's
game's
why I
great.
hate going. This
By
looks fucking
60
amazing. Like
which
Avatar
is
game's coming
60
out.
router
This looks
is
amazing.
And there's a
Mobile.
mobile.
and a new
I'd be so
5G.
That's like the
should
new,
cut
like,
power
oh, it's
drain
it's
from
for the
32
it's for the Xbox
megabits.
Connect.
So yeah, while the last
So
iPhone
Epic
14
Avatar.
series
I was super
had-
hyped until you said it's
I'm
not.
never
So yeah,
gonna play
while
it.
the last iPhone 14
That's like when they
series
dropped
had
that Dragon
good
Ball
battery
Z
life,
game. 2000.
Yeah.
That was so hype, and that's just the Xbox Connect, nigga. I said, oh no, they
I'm
hold
telling
it
you,
up.
that fucks. It's the same thing
And
with
then-
mobile because like the games be looking so lit. There was an Avatar game. I think I was looking at it with some. It might have been with you. So I was looking at it with somebody. I saw it on my PlayStation. It's a new upcoming Avatar game coming out, but that shit looks like it's straight. It's like supposed to come out on PS3. I was looking at it. I was
Damn.
like, okay, what the fuck is this? And people's comments on it were saying like, damn, bro, these fucking 2006 graphics are going crazy.
I think that was me and you. I feel like I remember that.
I gotta look it up, but it's a brand new Avatar game coming out.